Are you vegetarian but you feel like you're missing out on life? Do you feel like you want to eat complicated, delicious, protein-rich snacks like the rest of us, meat-eating carnivore lovers of animal? Well, then you are in luck today. We're going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees, and we are going to start our eggplant. So I've got a baking dish, which we're going to line with a piece of parchment paper. And the deal with the parchment paper is it's just going to insulate slightly the base of the eggplant so that where it touches the metal pan, it doesn't actually burn at all. And I think that's going to be nice because we're going to cook this for a long time and we don't want a burnt eggplant. So we're going to lay this down right on our sheet. Like that. We've got our eggplants here. We're just going to slice them straight in half. And the actual stem isn't going to be edible, but it's going to be nice for presentation, so we'll leave that on. Carefully on both of these guys. Straight down the middle. And then we're going to take our knife and without cutting through the skin, we're just going to score in a cross-hatch pattern the flesh so that the olive oil that we season it with is going to drip down and it's going to help it to roast a little bit more quickly and evenly. So just slicing into a diamond pattern, a few maybe half-inch scores in our eggplant. Half-inch deep or inch deep. The only thing that's really important is we don't want to cut through the flesh because then all the juice of the eggplant is going to run out and this is going to stew with its own juice and become really soft and have that really lovely texture that I feel like eggplants are known for. So just kind of scoring the flesh, and maybe you would use a smaller knife if you're not as adroit, but this seems to be doing the trick. So, we've got our eggplants here on our sheet tray, and we're just going to drizzle them with our olive oil. So putting our thumb over the top, we're going to put a generous amount of olive oil on each eggplant. It's all going to absorb in, and this isn't going to be greasy at all. It's actually going to mix in with the eggplant as it cooks and make it really, really rich and delicious. So a good amount of olive oil right on the flesh. Some salt. And I always put the olive oil first because the salt will stick to the olive oil rather than bounce right off, but I'm going to season each. And you notice that I'm seasoning the larger eggplants with more salt than the smaller because, well, they're larger, so they take more salt. Freshly ground black pepper. And some thyme. So these guys are actually just I'm going to pull some of the thyme off and leave some of the actual more tender stems right on top, and that's going to look very beautiful once it's all roasted. So just a little bit of thyme, kind of rustically sprinkled, not overly concerned. This is going to roast for a long time, and anything that doesn't look great we can pull off afterwards. But this guy goes right in our oven. This is going to roast for 40 minutes, so plenty of time. We can check our eggplant that's been roasting for 40 minutes in our oven just by pulling it out. And we can see, wow, that looks so beautiful. That it's really so soft, and where we scored it, it's separated and opened out, and that's gonna present so beautifully. So I'm just gonna leave this to cool. Be sure to like and subscribe, check us on Instagram, and download the Project Foodie app on the iOS App Store. I hope you've enjoyed this Project Foodie cook-along, and I hope you'll join us for more. If you want to make roasted eggplants, you will need the following ingredients. We have black pepper, thyme, kosher salt, olive oil, a neutral light flavored olive oil, and an eggplant. If you have joined to make roasted eggplants, you are going to need the following tools. We have parchment paper, a knife and cutting board, a small roasting pan for roasting our eggplants. We have a small receptacle for waste and just collecting stuff that we want to throw away without having to carry our trash to the garbage all day long.